Welcome into this month's edition or this week's edition of our Life Markets Master Class. Today we're going to be talking about term coverage in 10 minutes. Yes, 10 minutes. It's not an application that just takes 10 minutes. It is term coverage in place in 10 minutes. My name is Matt Alina, and I am the Life Markets Manager here at URL Insurance Group. This is going to be Term Insurance 101. Any of you who have spent a few minutes in the life insurance marketplace, you know term insurance is very basic. It's term, it's coverage for a specific period of time, where the rates are locked in for a specific period of time. There's not a lot of moving pieces to term coverage. If you've been writing term life insurance and it takes 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks or longer, it is taking way too long. It takes too long for you as the broker, the advisor, and it's also taking too long for you as or taking too long for the client. So let's get started. For term coverage in 10 minutes, this is a perfect fit for agents, advisors in the P&C marketplace. It's a perfect fit for people in the health ACA marketplace. It's perfect for people who are doing group benefits, group enrollments, where people want to have additional coverage above and beyond what their employer offers. It's perfect for financial advisors where where the clients are in that process of building up their nest egg. What would happen to that nest egg if one of them were to pass away? You would have the ability to add a life insurance policy to help cover that financial loss in the event of somebody's untimely death. Perfect for people who are working in the mortgage term marketplace, Medicare advisors, and your traditional life insurance advisors. This is a perfect fit for basically anybody in the insurance marketplace in that area. You may have heard of some of these digital life insurance companies like Ladder, Ethos, Bestow, Sprout, Hero. These are all companies that are on digital platforms. And what is missing with all of these digital life insurance companies? It's you. It's you that is missing from being able to market these life insurance products. So what's missing? It's you. Fact of the matter is, truth be told, some of these companies like Ethos and Bestow and Hero, these are companies that have contacted us here at URL back in its infancy to use us as a distribution partner, basically saying to you, hey, come on board and we'll help you with selling this insurance digitally. And then what happens is these companies realize that they can make a lot more money writing you out of the picture and going direct to the consumer. So they use you to get the legs under them, to get that interest. And then from there, they sever their relationship with the BGAs, the IMOs, the brokers like you and like me. So what's different about what I'm going to be talking about today? We're going to be partnering up with Ameritas. It's a company we've had for a few years now, and they have a program called Instant Term. Ameritas is an A+ rated companies. These other digital companies, they don't have the financial ratings like Ameritas. They certainly don't have the experience like Ameritas. Ameritas has been in business nearly 140 years. They're a mutual company, and they have this digital platform that allows you, it allows your CSRs, your assistants, anybody within your office to offer competitive term life insurance coverage starting within 10 minutes from the time that you start an application. 10 minutes. And you're striking while the iron is hot. People are interested in getting the coverage. The longer it takes for a policy to be placed, the chances of them taking that policy become smaller and smaller. So we're going to go over a demonstration of exactly how the digital application works. Now, before I jump into the digital application platform, let me also preface this by saying this instant term plan is not going to be for people who have significant pre-existing medical conditions. People who are on high blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, people who are a little overweight, those people are going to be able to qualify. But if they have applied somewhere else through another insurance company and you're going to use this to try to get them the coverage, don't do it. So if you're in the P&C marketplace or you've tried putting them through a traditional underwritten plan and it gets rated or declined, this is not the plan for them. If they're looking to add additional coverage, they're in generally good health, this is the plan for them. The instant term coverage offers term coverage for 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 years. Yes, there is a conversion window as well. Face amounts start at $100,000 and they cap out at $2 million. For your really, really healthy people, they can get that preferred plus rate class. And you can also get that standard rate class for those people who are maybe mildly overweight or people who are on high blood pressure medications, cholesterol, things like that. It starts at age 18 up to age 55. You can get up to $2 million for them. For people 56 to 60, up to $1 million. It is a basic term plan. The additional riders that you can add is the accidental death benefit as well as waiver of premium. The accidental death, should death occur due to an accident, it is a double indemnity. And of course, waiver of premium, if they become disabled, they waive the premiums for that life of that term plan. So let's get into the demonstration of how this works. First and foremost, you're going to log into your agent portal through the Ameritas website. They have a producer's workbench website where you'll log in with your username and your password. Once you log in, you will have a link that goes directly to Instant Term. So you're going to click on the Instant Term link, and then from there, you're going to click on Quote and Apply. On that dashboard, you're also going to see other applications that have been submitted and have been placed, applications that have been maybe turned down. When I say turned down, they aren't declined, they're disqualified for the instant term plan. It does not mean that they can't get term coverage. It just means that this particular plan would not be a good fit for them. So you fill out the information, you put in their client's, their name and their date of birth and all of that fun stuff, basic general questions. So you're going to click on Start the Application. You're going to create the client account. You're going to ask them some basic questions. Now, this information, if you're in the P&C world, or maybe you have an assistant that's doing some benefit enrollments, you can hand this off to somebody internally if this is not worth the time, your time at that moment in time. If you want to take leadership and take over the role of doing this, you can certainly do that as well. Whoever logs into the producer workbench has the ability to submit the application and do the application process. So you're going to create the client, you're going to put in the client's details, and the amount of time that it's taking me to explain all of this, it's even quicker when you're actually talking to the person. It could be face-to-face, it could be over the phone, it could be through a Zoom call, a video conference call. However you're doing the application is fine. The only thing the client needs access to is email. So you're going to complete the client's information, tobacco information, all that stuff, height and weight. You're going to get into just the preliminary questions that are normally asked on a life insurance application. Because of technology today, a lot of these insurance companies have access to MIB, prescription drug records, and a bunch of Milliman, a bunch of other databases. So while you're completing all this information, Emeritus behind the scenes is already doing their work behind the scenes, which is how they get the underwriting decisions to you in 10 minutes. So you're doing the pre-underwriting. This is just weeding out the people that are not going to be able to qualify for this plan, nipping it in the bud right then and there. So you're going to do some pre-underwriting questions. If it's yes, you're going to click yes. If it's no, you're going to click no, and you just keep scrolling down and keep hitting next or continue. After you've done the preliminary, it's going to give you a preliminary quote. And you'll see on the screen there that it's going to give you a rate. It's going to give you a slide that you can increase the coverage, you can decrease the coverage, you can change it from a 30-year to a 25 to a 20 to a 10 to a 15, whatever it is. You can also increase, decrease the coverage in case it's outside of their cost, outside of their budget. With term coverage, people have asked me, how does this compare to some of the other companies? Emeritus, this particular Emeritus plan is not the cheapest out there, but it is within the top 10 for term rates. The difference between the other top 10 or the other top carriers, the client has to go through a medical exam. They're going to have to go through a medical exam. They're going to have to go through underwriting. Sometimes they're even going to have to go after medical records. What does that entail? Time. Your clients are paying and you are not quoting the cheapest, and you're getting a quicker underwriting decision. Once a client has said, okay, I like this, you can now formalize the e-application. It's going to verify that they check all of these boxes. Basically, that they haven't applied somewhere else. They don't have life insurance applications pending with a bunch of other companies. This is not a company that's going to pick up the pieces where another company has left off or they've dropped the ball. This is perfect for people who are getting that term coverage, maybe as an add-on coverage, or they've never applied for term insurance, or they don't have life insurance, or they have life insurance, but they're adding more and they just don't have those pre-existing medical conditions. So you verify all that information and you're going to start the application. This is where you're going to ask for social security numbers, driver's license numbers, all of that fun stuff. And you're just going to keep hitting next. A couple other preliminary questions. You're going to get to one other area here where there's going to be a crossroads. Again, you're going to verify some of the information. Some of this is going to be redundant questions. It's just now it's formalizing it. You got that preliminary quote. It's telling you based on the information you've provided, they're going to qualify for a preferred rate. It very well may happen that they could get the preferred best rate, preferred plus. So you're going to continue with the e-application process. You're going to verify a few things. This is where you're going to verify your agent information or whoever is taking the application, whether it's you or an assistant or a CSR, whoever it is that's taking that information. They're going to verify all that information. Now, here is where you get into the crossroads, okay? You can then hand it off to the client to complete the application from that point. Or just a couple of additional questions, you can then continue to walk through the steps, step by step, with your client. I personally prefer Agent Assist because if you hand it over to the client, you're now hands-free and you don't have control. And you're now waiting on the client's timeline where they may have to go and pick up the kids from practice, or they may have to get the kids to bed or get them their baths before bed, whatever it is. Where if you can just take a couple of additional minutes and do the Agent Assist, you can take care of all of this and you're not relying on the client going back to their email to complete everything. So if you do the Agent Assist, it's going to take you to a couple of additional questions. Again, there's going to be some redundancies there, but it's going to be asking a bunch of additional yes or no questions. It's going to ask financial information, things like that. It's also going to ask who the beneficiary is going to be, contingent beneficiaries, all of that good stuff. Additional health questions. Now it's going to take the EFT information. You don't have to make the coverage start right away, although I do recommend it. But the client gets to determine the day that they want their premiums to be drafted. It's perfect for EFT. The client can pay annual, they can pay semi-annual, quarterly, monthly. Most people in this scenario are going to pay on a monthly basis. And that is where you're going to, there's going to be a few additional questions, financial questions, things like that. Again, the whole process from beginning to end is approximately 10 minutes. And you're going to get the underwriting decision. There are going to be times, I've recently done a referral here where the client did apply somewhere else and came back that the client was using tobacco. He had a couple cigars on the golf course with on a golf outing that he was at, but typically he's not a tobacco user. So and he had applied somewhere else, and that raised a red flag. So it came back that the client was disqualified for the instant term, but it did take them about a day or two to come with that decision. But for people who are fairly squeaky clean, where they don't have a bunch of applications floating around everywhere, this is a perfect plan for them. I highly recommend it. Again, it's additional add-ons, things like that to a sale, whether you help them with their P&C business, whether you're doing benefit enrollments, Medicare client referrals, but maybe they have younger family, children, grandchildren that need that coverage. This is a perfect fit for all of them. And there isn't a lot of paper. There is no paperwork. It doesn't take a lot of time. 10 minutes, you're making the same type of compensation that you would if you were doing a long application, but it's saving you and your clients a ton of time. So highly recommend that. So what I would recommend is now's the time to get started. Believe it or not, the contracting is going to take longer than the application process. So request Emeritus Contracting. You can email me. I'll be providing my contact information here momentarily. Once you have your agent number, you're going to create a login on the producer workbench, and then you can begin selling. And so it's get contracted, create a login, and just start having those conversations with people. Again, you can be the agent. A CSR can be the agent where you just hand it over to them. So maybe because your time may be more valuable, you may have somebody internally that can do that. This instant term is really a game changer, in my opinion. Term insurance does not have to be this long and drawn out process. We're also going to be doing a cash bonus. So we want you to experience this. We're very excited, and we know that you're going to enjoy this. That for agents that are going to be trying this from May 1st through the end of July, we're going to give you $50 for every $1,000 of placed commissionable annualized premium with Emeritus's instant term. So earn the cash bonus. We're putting our money where our mouth is and earning that additional money. So it's a quick win bonus. Get involved with it. Get contracted. Set up your online account and just start having conversations with people. I have questions that have come in, and if you have any questions, you can certainly ask those questions, and I'll be putting my contact information up on the screen here. Well, it's up on the screen now, but I'll leave it up there for a few minutes so you can take it down. One of the questions that came in is approximately how much more premium are these policies than a fully underwritten application? I would say on average about 10 to 15% higher, but it depends on the carrier. So some companies that sell dirt cheap term, they're going to have that long drawn out process, that underwriting process. So you're paying The clients are paying for that convenience, and you'll find that people are going to take your recommendation over looking for the cheapest solution. So I would highly recommend doing the instant term, putting it out there for those healthy people. And Ameritas is a strong company, A+ rated. 10 minutes is not a lot of time. It takes longer to buy a car. Recently did that. It takes forever. There's a lot of other things that take a lot more time. 10 minutes to do something like this is perfect. It's easy. It's very simple to do. If you're in the life insurance world, P&C, financial planning, benefit enrollments, health insurance, ACA, this is perfect for you. People who are helping, serving people in the mortgage term market, this is perfect for those people. It's going to be cheaper than those mortgage term plans that are out there that through Americo and some of these other companies. So I hope that sheds some light. I'm going to leave my screen up here for a couple of seconds, and let me see here. I'm going to put my contact information up. If you have any questions, please give me a call. My direct number is 717-216-8041, 717-216-8041, and let me give you my email address as well. It's Matt A. It's Matt A at urlinsgroup.com. Again, Matt A at urlinsgroup.com. I appreciate everybody's time today, and I look forward to helping you get started with the quick win bonus and helping change the way you sell term life insurance. And with that, if you have any questions, 717-216-8041. Take care, everybody, and make it a great day.